Madam Commander, welcome to the stream.
Hello.
And she hit her, so.
I did.
Oh, well, I salute you, co-commander.
Well, thank you, Mert.
And so, as you see, I'm in uniform, so I'm complying with the code of conduct of FAFO here. And
that is CIA sanctioned, I think.
Mm-hmm. Along with the hat. Okay. And anyway, I did put up your filing that you made regarding Mr. Holmesouth. So if you want to discuss this with the audience, you feel free to do so.
All right, I shall. So I believe it was in January that I got the restraining order. And within the restraining order, the judge said that you-know-who had to remove all offending material. And as we know, all of that garbage is still out there. So he is in contempt of a court order. And so he can scream extortion or, I'm threatening him, but no, I'm not. The court said, remove it. I was kind and gave him a deadline, giving him opportunity to take care of this, and he chose not to. And so I have filed a motion for contempt and show cause, and he will have to come to Ohio and tell the judge why he is defying a court order. So that's the basics of it.
And so has the summons gone out for Holmesouth?
Yes,
okay.
It has. Yep.
And
even though he's lying to the court that he does not live in Wisconsin. So every time he, wants to file something in Belmont County, he's lying to them. He doesn't live there.
No, he did the same thing with the state of Florida on that real estate business.
Yes.
Because it is known that the post office box in Hudson, Wisconsin was deactivated and is no longer has him as a recipient. The post office box has been reissued to a new customer. So the address is not valid, which would explain why in the sample that was given to the state of Florida, there's no address on the FedEx envelope, which he's been famous for putting up there in the past. It just shows a FedEx envelope, and that's it.
Yeah, so, again, he's had 5 months to comply with the court order. He chose not to. He has put garbage up on his social media accounts that he is defying the court order. So he can come to Ohio. And here's what kills me about this. He wants to talk about how he's being framed and extorted and trying to be kidnapped. Why not show up for court? Phil McConnell did every single time. But Tim hasn't. So if he feels like he's being railroaded, come to court.
Now, what happens if he does not show up?
He gets another warrant.
Yeah, and hopefully it would be a felony warrant this time around, or is it still a misdemeanor?
I plan on going back to the criminal court where the state of Ohio pressed charges against them and showing them that he has violated a civil protection order. He can scream that they were never in Ohio, but they posted video from Route 7, a mile from my home. So how did they get that video in his vehicle?
Well, there's that. Plus, you do not have to be in the state where the victim lives.
Correct.
Is because they have been accusing me of the same thing, basically, and Holmseth has never been to the state of Florida and he's never met me. So the same argument is in reverse.
Right. But, they made a phone call. Randy called and made threats. And the police officers, when I called them to my home, heard the recorded call and sent it to the prosecutor. And that was the basis of the criminal charges against them. So, hey, look, if you're going to scream you're trying to be kidnapped by under color of law or whatever you're doing, then how about if you show up to court and defend yourself? Otherwise, you look guilty. Correct?
Yeah. Correct. Absolutely correct.
So, I gave him a deadline. That's not extortion. The court here in Ohio said, remove it. It's in the order. He didn't show up for court. He didn't try to fight it. And so he has failed to remove the offending content. And now I am asking the court to order him into our court here and show cause why he has not removed the content.
Well, I guess this is going to be something to look forward to over the next few days, weeks, or whatever it takes to get the process going to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, I would imagine that once service has been perfected, he will have a court date within 30 days. So, show up. Stop screaming you're a victim.
Now, what is the process for serving him if he's not at that address? How is that going to work?
As long as he's getting served, that's his address. That's the address he provided to the court. So if he's not there, then he's lying. He's going to have to explain to the court why he is providing a false address.
Okay. Yeah, because that kind of puzzled me, because if he's not using the post office box as a mailing address, how the hell are they going to serve the paperwork?
Well, not my problem. The onus is on him. He has to explain to the court, per the order that said, remove the offending content. The end. And again, he had 5 months to comply with the court order. And so he chose not to. And, again, Mert, I think I'm a decent person, but I also don't play games. And I don't give multiple warnings. And I don't put out fake threats. If I say I'm going to do something, you can bet your freaking ass that's what's going to come. That's what's going to come down. So I don't know why he's acting like such a big baby. He's stalked me and others for over a decade, so he should know. He watches our every move, so he knows what we're all about. So again, F around and find out.
Yeah, well, that was the start of our chronicles, so that we can keep people apprised of when they FO, they're gonna FO.
Right, and you don't get to poke, and then you feel the stick. So come to court, crayon boy.
Well, that we will see. We will see.
He won't, and he's going to have another warrant. And I'm not playing around with these idiots anymore. I will take every legal avenue to make this crap stop. I mean, how we've been dealing with it for over a decade. And I've asked a million times, what's the end game, guys? What's the end game? What are they going to do? What haven't they done thus far?
Yeah.
And every single lawsuit that he files, it will be reacted with. No one's afraid of him. We're done. We want him to find another hobby.
Or else go to
As long
jail.
as he continues to poke everybody with his little stick, with every action, there's a reaction. You don't get to throw turds out into the universe with some not coming back at you. And we're done. All of us are done. You're done. Levi's done. Kim is done. I mean, we are all done. And I implore everyone who has been harassed by this idiot, file a restraining order in your state. If you need help, I will donate my time. But enough is enough.
Yeah, everybody should take Alex up on her offer and, start submitting these orders. So.
Yeah, I'm 5 for 5. So, they put garbage out every day that is so disgusting that none of us, no decent person would ever let flow from their lips. But yet they do. And with regard to Randy's license, I reported and made a complaint on Randy because she has restraining orders and she has criminal charges. And that is considered moral turpitude. So it's not like I'm sitting back making all this crap up to go after these people. They are, by their own behavior, putting themselves in Dutch. So keep playing around. Where is our fine idiots tonight? Are they watching?
Apparently not.
No? Oh my goodness.
On another Delphi conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. And he posts a picture of, this is a gloved hand killing a child. And I'm like, it's disgusting. Why, number one, if that is the case, why would you repost that to victimize the family? Like, it is my opinion and my belief that these people get off on this stuff.
Well, that's how they raise money, because the law enforcement should have been given this material. If this guy is genuine,
yeah,
goes to the law enforcement, and law enforcement doesn't have any of this stuff.
Well, let me ask you this. If they are so about the children and rescuing them and saving them, why haven't they sent that to law enforcement instead of sending a gajillion false reports about you, me, and everybody else?
Well, because they're not capable and they don't care.
Because they're only capable of ad hominem attacks, which have no basis.
They have people.
And they lie.
They have people over on their network that are extremely gullible, and so they make gobs and gobs of money off these people with all these donations that are going on.
I am going to single-handedly take their network down. And that's a promise. That's not a threat. I'm going to make sure every single one of these idiots who has been preying on vulnerable people is held accountable. And if it means all of them have warrants for their arrests, and, I'm done. Again, I don't make idle threats. If I toss it out there and I tell you this is going to happen, you best believe that's going to happen.
And just to review everybody, it has been stated by an anonymous source that the gun used to murder Chris Hallett was, in fact, Chris Hallett's own gun that Neely Blanchard had while at Chris Hallett's house, obtained the weapon and used it to kill him. And I will be getting confirmation of that in the next week or two.
Right. But, even with Neely's case, how they are bastardizing facts is disgusting. And how they are glorifying, Chris Hallett was a father. He was someone's son. He was someone's brother. But he was not a good person. And he was preying on vulnerable women and making money off of them. I mean, he's not, it's terrible to say, but he's not a good victim. And, as you know, I had contacted Florida, Marion County state attorneys and said, please, he is practicing law without a license and he is preying on vulnerable women. You've got to do something before someone gets killed. And they chose not to do anything. And the same agency that I complained to and begged to do something is now handling that case.
Yeah, we see this too many times with law enforcement. They get warning after warning after warning that something's up, someone's going to get hurt, killed, or otherwise. They ignore it, and then, boom, it happens.
Yeah, but, I think they look at the sovereign citizen or American nationals, as they're now trying to be called. I think when they look at them, they're thinking that they're just kooks.
Yeah.
And they're not looking past that, okay, they've got some issues. So they dismiss it because they're kooks. But these people are dangerous. I mean, they hold these ideations very close to them. They're very passionate about it. I mean, if you look at Eamon Bundy right now, the crap that he's doing, and, riling all of these other people up. There's not a nice way to say it, Mert, but these people are, gosh, how do I even say without sounding like an asshole? They're socially inept and socially stunted and maybe not as bright as others. And they don't want to do their research, which, their whole thing is do your own research, but they don't. And so they listen to the garbage spewed by people like Eamon Bundy, who puts together some, heartfelt soft sit videos, and others like Crayon Boy, who puts together his bullshit. And they don't do their own research. They're relying on the words of sycophants.
Yeah, well, that seems to be
in trouble.
That seems to be a theme across the board. I know Florida has had a hell of a time with sovereigns because they go in and try and take people's homes away from them.
And that's
they
why
do squatting and stuff. And
that's why it is a felony in Florida to practice law without a license, because of the sovereign citizen movement.
Yeah, these are just people that, they just don't want to follow the rules, don't want to use the methods we have in this country to change the rules. If they don't like them, they just said, screw it. We're just going to be sovereign citizens and away we go. And
it never works, ever.
No.
David Strait is now saying Bonnie's in prison and, she's learned how to do prison braids and probably selling ramen noodles to keep her from getting her ass beat. But he's not telling, he's saying that the federal case is moving through the courts. No, it's not.
No,
she violated her probation. The end. There is no federal case.
No,
I mean, they can paper terrorize the federal courts all they want, but it's not going to change anything. And that is what Crayon Boy is doing. He is paper terrorizing courts. And not one of his federal lawsuits has ever come to fruition. Ever.
Nope,
He's
not one.
never been awarded a judgment. He's, they've all been dismissed that he is a friggin' psycho, in my opinion.
Well, there's a lot out of Thief River Falls that I haven't gotten into that.
Oh, I could tell you a whole bunch out of there.
Explains his behavior.
I could tell you a whole bunch out of there, but I won't. Not on the air. And all of his stupid lawsuits that he gets his gullible dipshit followers to pay for. Anyone that he sues has to, they're racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees to defend this garbage. And at some point, he is going to have a gatekeeper order. Which means, well, he does in Minnesota. He's not allowed to file any lawsuit without getting permission from the court.
Yeah, I imagine Tennessee's going to get tired of him eventually.
Oh, they are. And again, if his bullshit goes through, someone's going to countersue him. And discovery is going to be lit.
Mm-hmm.
But, back to his issues with Belmont County and the state of Ohio. I filed a motion for contempt. It's right in the court order. I believe I've given that to you long ago in January when the judge signed off on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it said, you have to remove it. The end. You shall. In legalese, shall means you have to do it. No ifs and or buts. It shall be done. So I think I was being very lenient, giving him 5 months to get rid of his garbage, the absolute filth that he has written about me. I am not a child trafficker. I am not a Satanist. I am not everything that he has said about me. So he chose to defy a court order, and now he's going to find out. So, Tim, if you are so vehement about your position, come to Ohio and come to court. That's all I can say.
Yeah, he could have done this almost 3 years ago in Minnesota. He could have got this case before the people, just like everybody else has done. But he
was a coward, and he ran
away into a little cave, and he's been hiding ever since. And
eventually he's going to get caught. Mm-hmm. And now he has additional warrants for his arrest. He can't get on a plane. He can't get a passport because he's in the NCIS or NCIC database. He's in the FBI database.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, if I'm being accused of something, I'm going to stand up for myself. So if he is so adamant that he's innocent, bring your ass to court.
Yeah, because that's all you need to do is go to court, defend yourself, and let the chips fall where they may. If you're in the right, then you'll be rewarded.
Right.
Not,
Present your case. That's what our justice system is all about.
But they don't believe in our justice system.
Well, but they believe in it when they want to abuse it.
Correct.
And, when they have fallen under, the punishment of the court, they blame everybody else but themselves for their own bad actions.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I filed it and come to court, dummy.
Well, the clock is ticking. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm not backing off, Mert. I'm done. I think over a decade of this garbage is enough.
Yes.
And
Way
so, you know,
overdue.
winters in Ohio suck. Now, I'm sure, you know, if you're in jail, it's going to suck. So I put out the warning shot. I only do one.
Well, we'll stay tuned, and I will keep everybody up to date as all these events that are in the news go forth. I have, as I said before, discovery coming out on the Blanchard case in the next couple of weeks. Some questions are going to get answers, and we'll go from there. I have a lot more time now to explore deeper into all aspects of this, especially into Neely Blanchard's history and how she got involved in the situation in the beginning.
Have you tried to talk to her sister, Savannah?
No, apparently what the situation is that she... Oh, you're talking about the sister too?
Yeah, Neely's sister and her mother.
I have not, no.
Okay. I will pass you her information.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually talked to her mom and Savannah after all of this went down. You know, they love their sister daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they also want for her to get a fair shake. So I think they would probably talk to you.
Okay. Now I remember they did the interview on the British documentary that was done about them.
Yes.
And that gave a lot of insight as to the family dynamic. And they do feel bad about Neely getting involved in the QAnon. They don't understand it.
Yeah.
And it really made things a lot worse for her.
And you know, when I talked to them, they told me that she had some issues in the past, and, you know, I won't go into those publicly, but, you know, we are behind our family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if they're bad or whatever, that's your family. That's what we're all taught. You stand behind your family. And they love her, and they don't understand how she went down this path. But they do understand how she was misguided. Sarah, I do believe there is a reward to get him arrested. Yes.
Yeah, the last I knew, I believe it was like $5,000.
Yes.
And it's out of DC, I think. But I think he has to be in the state of Minnesota.
Nope.
And
he has multiple warrants now. So he's got Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
He has Florida.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Minnesota.
Yeah.
And now that he has lied about his location in Wisconsin, I plan on filing my paperwork there as well.
Well, so, eventually this is going to hit a felony warrant.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's getting, he's just getting too defiant. So.
Well, and it's not just being defiant. He is getting more out there with his allegations. It's insane. And then he riles up these, for lack of a better term, booger eaters who are willing to do his bidding for him. And I think that's what he's counting on. That one of these idiots is going to do his dirty work for him. And I have stressed that to the court.
Yeah,
And that's why the third party stuff was added to my restraining order.
Yeah.
That anyone who acts on behalf of him is violating that restraining order, because this is like a cult. Would we have even thought 10 years ago that this dumb shit would be capable of this crap. Because he was a nobody.
Well, I think it started with Randy, and now whoever this PWS builder is, this Veronica person, I think is running the operation, and he is being kept on a very tight leash. And
he's not writing the crap on his blog. There's no way. Someone's writing it for him, and it doesn't matter because that's still third party.
Mm-hmm.
And my particular court order says if you encourage third parties to harass on your behalf, you're violating a court order.
Sarah, it was information given to me from a number of sources that it is a woman by the name of Veronica
Swift.
Yeah, and that she is an expert in website construction. She's proficient in website promotion and so on and so forth. And people have also told me that it is her way of writing on these various social media accounts. They recognize her style.
You know, and here's the other thing. I have no qualms going after his third parties and getting restraining orders in Ohio. I'm done. Get a hobby. Go cross stitch, go crochet blankets for neonate babies, do something. But what is the end game?
I don't think there is an end game. I think this is just a way to raise money, and they're going to go with it for as long as they can get away with it. And once it looks like they're not getting a return on their investment, they're just going to walk away.
Well, but have you seen the cases that have came out in the last couple of weeks about people who have pretended to be with federal agencies requesting donations? And you can bet your sweet ass that I will be filing complaints.
Yeah.
Based on these cases. Like, I am done. Go away. Get a hobby. Go spend time with your grandchildren and your dying husband. But leave everybody the hell alone. You are not working for Trump. You are not working under an executive order. You are not working for the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. Get on some goddamn anti-psychotropics and get a life.
Oh, that would be so nice if they would do that.
Well, and they won't. And again, as we said, F around and find out. You only get so many warnings until, again, you don't get to toss shit out into the universe and be an asshole without some eventually coming back on you. So it is time. Spend time with your families. Spend time with your grandchildren. Go to AA, go to NA, whatever you have to do. But enough is enough. And that is the last warning I will give. I will use every legal avenue to knock your dick in the dirt. The end.
Okay. Well, folks, I think that's going to be it for me tonight. I have an early day tomorrow. Got things to do in the real life. Alex, I appreciate you coming in. And
no problem. I will see you, buddy.
All right. You have a good night, and we'll talk again eventually.
All right.
We'll have our get together and have a meeting or whatever we're going to do.
Oh,
here.
no. When all of this is over with, we are all going to hang out.
That we are.
Yes. All right, Murts.
Party City. All right. You have a good night, Alex.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.